Before I start rambling on about our existence, I would like to say one thing. I am not a philosopher. Up until very recently, I've never given much thought to my own existence. I've always just carelessly spent my precious minutes on meaningless tasks. I've been spending my time like a ride of some sort, just in it for the thrill, trying to enjoy it as it lasts. And I think I would have continued this behavior if not for my enlightenment that happened not too long ago. Now, this dilemma I face is something that humans have been trying to answer for many years. What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? Do we just eat, work, and sleep for our entire lives? I refuse to think that's why we're here. Finding reason in such a broad question for me was a challenge. Trying to come up with one whole answer that applies for all living beings is impossible for this question. For me, this question has an infinite amount of answers that are largely based upon an individual's purpose. We are all given life, but what we do with it matters the most. Our purpose is forged over time. Based on our dreams and aspirations, we begin to see what we want to accomplish and what gives our lives purpose. When we are born, we know nothing, and from that moment on, we begin our journey. I like to imagine life as a painter's canvas. When you first start off, your canvas is empty, and over time, as the vision of what you want to do with your life becomes clearer in your mind, you'll paint your canvas more and more. Each brushstroke will symbolize something different, whether good or bad, and sometimes you'll even end up painting over what you've already created. But when your time eventually comes, your painting will be finished, whether beautiful or not. Emotions heavily influence our interactions during our lifetime, and they also bring clarity to our meaning in this world. Happiness, sadness, anger, pleasure, all emotions can drive us to see our purpose. They help us set goals, lead us to compromises, and help us bring light to our everyday lives. We've all gone through our own unique experiences and emotions that have shaped us into what we are today, but sometimes they have the potential to blind us from the bigger picture. There is a greater meaning to our lives beyond the surface, however clouded it may seem. This applies differently to all of us. Stepping aside from my own theory for a bit, there are many other ways to tackle this daunting question. And depending on what kind of person you are, or how you were brought up, you will answer this question in your own way. Most commonly, people take a scientific or religious approach to this question. Some seek a higher power and try to understand life through religion and prayer. Others look to science for definitive answers and rely on metaphysical theory to give us meaning. However, in this video, I will not be delving into these approaches. I don't want to spend hours bringing up the same arguments that make this question even more convoluted. I think the only way I can properly explain to you what I think the meaning of life is to tell you my own experience that made me understand. For a good year and a half, I have used my time like I had infinite amounts, and wasted it on things that didn't push me toward my goals. Just going through the motions, losing more and more motivation to put effort into anything. Even in school, I did the bare minimum, even when I knew I could be great, but I still didn't care. Spending most of my days playing video games and talking to friends, I was slowly making myself miserable. That's not to say I didn't enjoy these things. I met so many kind people that made the little times we spent together good memories, but it was unproductive. The mental image of my canvas was fading into ambiguity, and it made me feel as though I had no purpose. I continued this self-destructive behavior until the final moments of 2017. I was looking at the TV in my living room, waiting for the ball to drop to signify the start of the new year, in which JC the Caster would sink into obscurity. And in those moments, something hit me. It was like an invisible hand waved away the fog clouding my mind. I saw my ambitions and the goals I had buried deep inside. Everything that I had wanted to do and be seemed only a touch away. In that moment, I felt an unbelievable surge of happiness, as if the best possible version of myself was saying, "Don't give up. You can be so much more." This lasted for 30 seconds, and I remember hearing the year being counted down as it occurred. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The exact moment 2018 began, I knew what I had to do. But most importantly, I knew the meaning of my life. I whispered this single word under my breath, and in that moment, I was instantly set free. Dreams. Life is nothing without dreams. What you want to be and what you want to do is all that matters. We are open to so many possibilities, and yet we waste our precious time not making them a reality. I let my talents and gifts fade into the background because of my lifestyle, and my purpose faded as well. Life itself is a gift, not a privilege, and what you do with that gift is up to you. Thus, dreams are all that we have. From a very small age to the day we die, we can only live on dreams. If you want to become something, then commit your whole life to that one vision in your head. Purpose is then born, and your life will become so much better when you actually spend your time on something that makes you happy. Whether there is a man in the clouds or an atom in the universe, what we do with this gift of life is all that matters. You can ruin it, make it better, or leave it the same. Emotions follow with the way you treat your dreams, and that is why I have come to this conclusion. And after my experience that night waiting for another miserable year, I changed it in every way possible. And that night, I gave a promise to myself. I will pursue my dream, no matter the obstacle. I was done seeing everyone around me grow while I was left behind. And I was so happy. Once again, I am no philosopher, but I'll leave you with this. If you came here to find out the answer to one of life's hardest questions, I hope you take my words to heart. The meaning of life is also the foundation of life, upon which everything else around you is built. No matter who you are or what kind of person you are, life is not worth living if you don't really live it. But perhaps I have gone too deep.